I wasn't too sure I was going to do chapter reviews for Kagurabachi, but it's been too gas lately, so I'm going to check out chapter 56 and y'all let me know if y'all want me to continue with chapter reviews in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe and all that. I actually have a banger Chihiro video that will be releasing fairly soon. So chapter 56, we get a cover of Hakuri who is dressed for business, and in this chapter, he definitely stands on it. We get a flashback panel of the female Makizumi breaking down the healing ritual, saying 30 minutes is just a minimum of recovery time you'll need so you can use your ability again without risk. And it's only been 10 minutes, so using it could damage his brain and possibly never use sorcery again, or worst case die. Hakuri says first I have to touch Samura and Uruha to register them, but he passes out, which is good because they don't want him to overexert and burn himself out, so this is ideal so she can finish the mandala. We see more Dantensky stones being used as they're pressing Uruha. He says their teamwork is pointless against sheer numbers. He wonders if they're brainwashed because they look like zombies. Only 4 people can use the mandala to transport outside the temple. A sacrifice is going to have to be made. We get more details on the Makizumi finding out that they are a family of ninja that goes back centuries, and they dedicate themselves and serve as tools to protect their master. During the war, that just so happened to be the organization that would later become the Kamunabi. They see themselves as tools for their master and will lay their life on the line to protect them. Of course, we know Samura isn't really down for that sort of thing. He doesn't like people sacrificing themselves. The 4 of them got together when the sword contractors all got put in fortresses. So that means it's been 3 years they've spent together. I can tell you this, Samura is exactly the person he is presented to be, a hero. A modest guy who doesn't think of himself as above others. He doesn't like the fact that they were serving him as tools. He would rather live with them and impose on each other. He's exactly the guy Chihiro thinks he is. Oh, and by the way, the little commando dude is actually over 20. We cut back to the battlefield and Samura is really starting to feel the thrill of battle. He says, we're going to shred them all. The commander of the Makizumi likes what he hears, but the truth is, they still see themselves as tools and will serve him by laying their life on the line. They know he would not let them transport him out there willingly. As the building breaks, there's no time to hesitate. Uruha looks to actually turn his sword on the female member, as if he's going to take her life. That instant, immediate bloodlust is what Samura senses, and he charges. And as they clash, Uruha blocks Samura. He says, forgive me. She activates a teleportation circle, putting them 2 and Hakuri on the outside. And Samura is well aware of his importance as a sword contractor, but overall the thing for him is seeing people, mostly the young, sacrificing themselves. He doesn't want a lecture. What he wants is his enchanted blade, his power back. Tobi Mune. And would you know it, Hakuri wakes up, grabs his hand, and summons the very thing he needs to change the tide of battle. No words need to be said other than crow, as feathers overtake the battlefield, cutting everyone in its path. Of course, it's a hero's entrance. Samura comes out of the other side, saving his elite guard, and he fires them. And I think we all have the same reaction as the female member, smiling in adulation. Now, the thing is, we know that kneecap wearing a hat Hishaku dude is still lurking because we don't see his body. The seemingly good end may lead to a horrible reveal next chapter. JJK 235 vibes, if you know you know. So where do we go from here? This is all just off the top of my head, early thoughts or early theories. But this chapter makes me think Hirohiko could still become the new contractor of Uruha's sword, because it is already on its way to him. And maybe the Hishaku anticipated this move and have someone waiting on the outside kinda close by. But then again, Hakuri would be easy pickings to take and be used against Chihiro in some way. Although, could you imagine if Shiba pops up? Maybe a little too late to save Uruha, but just in time to save Hakuri, and he ends up killing a Hishaku member or whoever the person is that defeated Uruha. The other thing I was thinking about is the horrible reveal I worry about for Samura is that he dies in the first few pages next week, and they take his blade and run, which hopefully means Chihiro kills Hirohiko, and he overtakes Uruha's blade. Maybe Chihiro just regathers with his team and decides to not be in the Kamunabi anymore. If Samura does end up dying next chapter and they take his sword and run away with it, the Makizumi still would presumably be alive. So the theory I talked about in my last video, check it out if you hadn't already, where the Makizumi commander and Kazane actually join up together and create a separate third faction that Chihiro has to worry about. We will have to wait and see. All I know is this chapter was gas. I mean, the consistency of Hokazono is crazy. That man is a legend already, and honestly he deserves a break. He's been going at it for a while with no breaks. He has been delivering constant peak chapters, and the art is gas. As a hope, I guess, that when Hokazono does take his first break, even if it's 2 weeks long, as a community, I hope we can understand and allow him to take his rest with no criticism. But you know how the internet is, right? Alright, Bocce Bros, remember, stay normie, stay weeb, shit even in between is fine. Until next time, peace.